Hi everybody, good afternoon. My name is Demiliso Tomendieta and I will be your English teacher. Okay, so for today's class, I'm going to talk about the present continuous, their the uses and the examples of this grammar. The objective of this lesson is to explain the form of the present continuous. Yeah, what is the correct grammar structure? Provide some examples of the use, also watching in general view the three different forms: affirmative, negative, and question form. Also, the use in daily life. Yeah, for example, in which situation is very common to use the present continuous, and to see the comparison between present continuous and simple present. Yeah, because both grammar topics are taken as the same, but there are some significant differences between each one. Okay, so let's begin. Now, first of all, we have to specify in which cases we have to use the present continuous. Well, the present continuous is used mainly to talk about actions in progress, yeah, and future plans. Okay. Well, and both the uses have the same structure. We use a subject plus the verb be and a verb in gerund form and a complement. Okay. Well, something to consider here is that people commonly omits verb be and only use the verb in gerund form. Okay. But before continuing, what is the gerund form of a verb? Well, basically, it's when you put ing after a verb. For example, do, doing, make, making, take, taking, etc., etc. Well, and an example of a sentence with present continuous is I am studying English right now. Yeah, here I have my subject, my verb be, my verb in gerund form, and my complement. Okay. So, also another thing to consider is that when we use the verb be, it's very important to consider that the verb be changes according to the subject. Okay, for example, I say I am playing soccer at the park because this is the form for the subject I. But if we have a subject like he or she, we use something like he's doing a great job. Yeah, this is this form, or are is mainly when we talk about plural subjects or the subject you. For example, they are reading Stephen King's new novel. Okay, so these are some examples of affirmative sentences using the present continuous. Or also, it's very common or very important to use contracted forms. Yeah, we commonly contract the verb be with the subject specifically or especially when the subject is a pronoun. For example, instead of I am, we say I'm having such a great time, or he's running 10 kilometers now, or we're going to the beach next month. Yeah, and the contractions are very common in English, specifically for fluency to when we are speaking. Well, also, all the tenses have a negative form. In this case, the negative form is made when we put the verb be in its negative form. For example, Ian isn't studying for his test tomorrow. Yeah, this is an example of a negative sentence in the present continuous. Or I'm not preparing the dinner. Yeah, I'm doing, and also Ian is doing something else, or we aren't playing the new football equipment. That means that we are using the old helmet, old uniform, and the new ones are maybe in the store or something. Yeah, and also we have to make question form merely to confirm some information. Okay, and as in other grammar structures, when we make questions in the present continuous, there is a little change in the structure. In this case, the subject and the verb switch places. Okay, for example, Here we have a question. Are you planning a trip to New York? Yeah, if you notice, the subject and the verb be changed places. And also, to answer this question, we have two possible answers. And for this answer, you have to use only a short form. For example, yes, I am to confirm the information, or no, I'm not to deny this information, or is she writing her essay for history class? We can answer yes, she is, or no, she isn't. Yeah. For that reason, they are called short answers. Yeah. Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, the present continuous has two main uses. The first one is when we talk about actions in progress. An action in progress can be, for example, an action that happens at the moment we are talking or we are speaking. For example, Karen is talking on the phone. When? At this moment, the moment that I am explaining, Karen is doing this action. Or for example, or another action that is happening in a certain period of the present. Can be this month, this year, today, etc. Like Gina and Nadia are studying liberal arts. That means that this year or during this semester, both girls, Gina and Nadia, are doing this action. That is studying this career. Okay, but that is also an action in progress. And other function is to talk about future plans. Yeah, but is different. It's important to specify that is there a difference between a prediction and a future plan? Yeah, for predictions we use another grammar structure, but for plans it's very common to use the present continuous because we're talking about an action that we are sure that we are going to make. For example, Joel is moving to Colombia next month. Yeah, this is a plan for the future. He already prepared everything for that trip. Or Hannah isn't going to switch schools. That means that she decided not to make a change in her life. Okay, he canceled this plan. Well, so basically, how can we differentiate in which situations we are using or we're trying to explain an action at the moment and a future plan? Well, something that helps is the auxiliary that we use in the complement of a sentence. Yeah, for example, a complements as now, right now, at the moment, this week, this year, nowadays, etc. help us complement the idea that action is happening in the present. Or if we say something like tomorrow, next day, next week, next month, in 2024, in the following days, etc., we are saying that the action is going to happen in the future. Yeah. Like, for example, we know that this is a future plan because we specify that next month is when Joel is moving to Colombia. Okay. And here, well, basically, here we are not using auxiliaries, but also we have the idea that the action is occurring in the present. Okay. Well, and finally, also as I mentioned before, the present continuous and the simple present both are taken as the same things, but there are important differences to consider. Yeah, because there are cases in which we have to use the present continuous and other cases we have to use the simple present. Okay? Well, we commonly use the simple present when we talk about routines, common activities, and to express preferences. Okay? For example, Frank plays basketball here every day. Well, we have the structure of the simple present because we are stating a routine. Yeah, every day Frank plays basketball in that place. Or we always come here for a walk. Okay, because we have this auxiliary always. We're talking about a common activity. Also, we always, we commonly, we usually come here also express the same idea. It's a common activity. Or for example, we want to state or express a preference like I want some chocolate. Yeah, it's a preference. Or I like soccer. I like soccer. Okay. Well, but also that's a different those are the cases we use the simple present and present continuous. As I mentioned before, when we talk about an action in progress, like Britney is taking Chinese classes here this moment, or they are flying to London next week. Also, a plan for the future. Okay. Well, if there are no more questions about this topic, I think that let's make some practice exercises to see or to reinforce this topic. Well, here we have 5 sentences and we have to choose if each sentence happens. No, if each sentence or expresses an action in progress, writing now, or if it describes a future plan, we use future. For example, number 1 says, Lisa is receiving a promotion in her job next week. Well, if you notice that it says next week, obviously we are talking about a future plan. Yeah? Now, number 2, David and Lois are getting divorced. Okay? So, if you say that is now, it's correct. Yeah, because now they are in the process of being divorced. Number 3, I'm not studying a PhD at the moment. Well, yes, the expression at the end, at the moment, says that this action is not happening now. Or Brenda is visiting her grandparents this weekend. Okay. So this is a future plan. Yeah, because yes, we are in the middle of the week, and then this weekend, that means on Friday, Saturday, she is doing this. And finally, Omar is finishing his degree in 2024. Well, we are not currently in 2024, so that's a future plan. Okay, very good. And second exercise. Here we have 5 sentences, but in each parenthesis we have the same verb in 2 different forms. We have to decide which one is the correct one. Okay. Well, now let's check. Number 1, Joey plays or is playing in a soccer team every day. Well, the correct answer is plays. Why? Because we're stating a routine. Yeah, every day. And for routines we use simple present. Now, number 2, Sonia and Kyle get married or are getting married next month. Well, so if you choose are getting married, you are correct. Yeah, because the sentence states a future plan. Number 3, Daniel studies or is studying Mexican literature at UNAM this semester. Well, here is commonly saying Daniel is studying because it's an action that is currently happening. Okay, say this semester, during all this semester he's doing his action. Number 4, do you want or are you wanted to come with us? Well, do you want is the correct answer. Why? Because here we are asking about a preference. Yeah, and for preferences we use simple present. Finally, Frida doesn't cook or isn't cooking dinner right now. She's busy. Well, so because she's occupied at the moment, the correct is isn't cooking. Okay, so no more questions about this topic. Okay, well, so just for concluding this topic, it's important to remember that the present continuous is used mainly for stating actions that happen in the present or actions that may or plans that will occur in the future. Okay. Also, that it's important to consider structure. We need a verb be and a verb in genuine form. Yeah. If we don't use these 2 verbs, the sentence is incorrect. Okay. Yeah, because and to also talk about the actions that occur frequently. But if, no, for example, if you want to talk about an action that occurs is now clear for you guys. See you later. Bye.